English 6, Quarter 3, Week 2, Melc-Based. Let's learn about providing evidence to support opinions. Hello kids, it's me, Teacher Frel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell for the latest video. You can also follow my Facebook page, Teacher Frel TV. For today's lesson in English 6, we will discuss about providing evidence to support opinions. For most essential learning competencies, provide evidence to support opinions. An opinion refers to a personal belief. It is a statement of what a person or an author thinks or believes. It also relates to how someone feels about something. Others may agree or disagree with your opinion. However, you must back it up with evidence and other supporting details to persuade your target audience and/or listeners. After going through this lesson, you are expected to provide evidence to support opinions. What is evidence? Evidence is anything that tends to prove or disprove something. It is mostly thought of as proof to come to a belief, conclusion, or judgment about a topic. These may include examples, images, personal experiences, diagrams, charts and graphs, surveys, experiments, and other secondary sources of information. Providing evidence to support opinions requires the audience to use their previous knowledge and think more deeply about it. The following sentence patterns will help you in citing evidence to support opinions. This will also guide you to relate and get answers to the essential questions below. What led you to that idea? And how does the evidence support your idea? So here are the following sentence patterns that will help you in citing evidence to support opinions. In the paragraph, the text states, in the, it clearly shows that, based on what I read, an example may be found in, the text states that, the author defines or describes, the illustration depicts that, the survey, graph, or figure shows that. Read the selection below, then answer the questions that follow. Do this in your notebook. Let us read about dugongs. Dugongs are warm-blooded sea animals. They are commonly known as sea cows because of their fondness for grazing on underwater seagrass. They are the only aquatic herbivorous mammals because they feed on plants exclusively. What makes it more interesting is that dugongs are more closely related to elephants than to other marine mammals like whales, dolphins, or seals. Dugongs swim using their whale-like tail and use their front flippers for balance and turning. They are often called as gentle giants as they move slow yet graceful. Another trait that makes them different from dolphins and whales is their ability to hold their breath for more than 15 minutes. These enormous vegetarians have a trunk-like flexible upper lip, thick skin covered with bristles and nails on their forelimbs, and replaceable feet. They can weigh approximately 400 kilograms and grow up to 3 meters long. They can reach the age of 70. Dugongs can be found in the warm waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Sadly, they are in danger in many parts of the world. Population that once flourished around India, Africa, and other tropical islands in the Indian Ocean are now endangered due to degradation or loss of habitat, the seagrass. Large populations of dugongs still inhabits in the coastal of Australia since they are protected by the law. And now let us answer the following questions. For question number 1, what is the passage about? Why are they called as gentle giants? And here is my example answer. The passage is all about the dugong, which is a sea animals. They are often called as gentle giants as they move slow yet graceful. For the second question, how are dugongs classified as herbivorous? Support your answer. Here is my example answer. Dugongs are classified as herbivorous because they primarily feed on seagrasses, which are aquatic plants found in shallow coastal waters. Their diet mainly consists of various species of seagrass, making them specialized marine herbivores. For the third question, why are dugongs closely related to elephants than other marine mammals like dolphins, whales, and seals? What statements in the passage support your answer? Here is my example answer. Because both dugongs and elephants exhibit slow growth, long lifespans, and low reproductive rates, which are traits common among Afrotheria. They also share unique features such as a similar arrangement of their lungs and diaphragm. Dugongs have a trunk-like flexible upper lip, thick skin covered with bristles, and nails on their forelimbs, and replaceable teeth. For the fourth question, what do you think are the reasons why dugongs become endangered? Here is my example answer. The reasons why dugongs becomes endangered is due to degradation or loss of habitat, the seagrass. And for the fifth question, what can we do to prevent the extinction of these animals? Here is my example answer. Preventing the extinctions of dugongs requires a combination of conservation strategies, policy implementation, and community involvement. Here are key actions to protect dugongs, like protect seagrass habitats, reduce water pollution, regulate fishing practices, combat climate change, and strengthen legal protections. A what, why, how strategy can also be used to help you remember to include appropriate evidence. Look at the chart below. What, why, and how. The question for what is, what do you think? This your opinion. Dugongs are like elephants. The question for why is, why do you think? These are your reasons. Dugongs and elephants are both enormous. They have the same nose or trunk. And the question for how is, how do you know? This is your evidence. In the second paragraph, the text states that dugongs are more closely related to elephants. In the fourth paragraph, it states that these enormous vegetarians have a trunk-like flexible upper lip. The image shows that dugongs have trunk-like upper lip. Everyone has the right to express his own opinion. However, it is considered irresponsible if it is expressed without evidence. Hence, when giving opinions, one should be tactful. Every person must understand what has transpired so that the opinion expressed become valuable and meaningful as well as persuasive to the audience. And now let us do learning task 1. Read the writing prompt carefully. Answer the questions, then provide evidence found in the passage to support it. Use appropriate sentence pattern. Write your answers in your notebook. Let's read the passage. Letter A. Susan has been walking back and forth outside the operating room since 10 o'clock last night. She left for a while to get coffee from the vending machine and continued walking back and forth again, with her coffee and her cell phone in her hands. By 2 o'clock in the morning, she received a call. After receiving the call, she started texting Mr. Edgardo, informing him that she could not go to work today until the next day. And let's answer this question. Why do you think Susan would not go to work? Here is my example answer. Susan would not go to work because she is attending to a serious situation involving someone in the operating room, possibly a loved one undergoing surgery. For the second question, list evidence to support your answer. Here is the evidence from the passage that supports the answer. First, she has been walking back and forth since 10 o'clock p.m., showing signs of anxiety or worry about someone in the operating room. Next, the timing of the call suggests it delivered important information related to the situation in the operating room, potentially a medical update or news about the patient. And after receiving the call, Susan immediately contacts her workplace to say she cannot come to work, indicating the urgency and importance of the situation. Next, let's read passage letter B. Daniel called his best friend Fredrich on Friday afternoon and invited him to come to his house after dinner to watch their favorite movie. It had been a long and tiring day, and Fredrich looked forward to doing something since he already finished answering his modules. After dinner, he hopped on his bicycle and pedaled over to Daniel's house. The house was dark, and when he rang the bell, there was no answer. Fredrich turned to hop on his bike and rode to home. And answer this question. For question number 1, what had Fredrich realized? Here is my example answer. Fredrich realized that Daniel was not home or had forgotten about their plan. The dark house and lack of response when he rang the bell indicated that no one was there. Their plan to watch the movie could not happen. For question number 2, list evidence to support your answer. Here is the evidence from the passage that supports the answer. First, a dark house suggests that no one is home or awake to welcome Fredrich. Next, when Fredrich rang the bell, there was no response, further indicating that Daniel was not at home. And realizing there was no one to greet him or let him in, Fredrich decided to return home, showing he concluded that Daniel was not there. For learning task 2, read the passage carefully. Answer the questions in your notebook. Let's read about Stepping Up for What is Just, based on real events, by Matthew Alganes. One evening in December 1955, Rosa Parks rode on a bus home after a long day's work. During that time, Black Americans were separated from white Americans in the bus. The front part of the bus was the section for white Americans. The back part was the section for Black Americans. When the front part of the bus became full, Black people had to give up their seats to white people. Rosa sat in the black section of the bus. Shortly, the white section was filled. The bus driver asked Rosa to give up her seat to a white person, but she refused. She was tired of the treatment that she and other Black Americans receive every day. Rosa and the bus driver had an argument. Eventually, the driver had Rosa arrested by the police and sent her to jail. This made the Black citizens of Montgomery angry, so they decided to boycott the buses by not riding on them. Instead, they organized carpools or walk when going to work. The boycott, which was done hoping that city officials would be forced to change the unfair segregation laws, lasted for 381 days. Although the bus companies were losing a lot of money, the city officials did not give in to the demands of the black citizens. Rosa's refusal to follow an unjust law was not disregarded though. 13 months after the boycott started, the U.S. Supreme Court declared that the segregation in public transportation was unconstitutional. In 1964, the U.S. Congress passed a law known as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that put an end to racial discrimination in the country. The bravery shown by Rosa Parks that night proved to be a transformative move for the American people. And answer the following question. For question number 1, what does racial discrimination mean? How was racial discrimination shown in America before it ended in 1964? Here is my example answer. The term racial discrimination refers to the unjust or prejudicial treatment of individuals based on their race or ethnicity. It often involves denying rights, opportunities, or resources to people because of their racial identity. How was racial discrimination shown in America before it ended in 1964? In America, before racial discrimination was outlawed in 1964 with the passage of the Civil Rights Act, it was shown in several ways, including segregation, voting rights restrictions, employment discrimination, housing discrimination, violence, and intimidation and education inequality. For the second question, how did Rosa Parks show her bravery? Fill in the graphic organizer below to show your answer. Support it by providing evidence. Rosa Parks is a brave woman. Here are the evidence. First, because Rosa refused to give up her seat when the bus driver asked her to give it to a white person, she made a powerful stand against racial discrimination. And here is the second evidence. Because Rosa's refusal to follow an unjust law was not disregarded, the bravery she showed that night proved to be a transformative moment for the American people. For question number 3, in your opinion, was it right for Rosa to refuse to follow the law at that time? Explain. Here is my example answer. Yes, it was absolutely right for Rosa Parks to refuse to follow the law at that time. While the law required segregation on buses, it was an unjust law rooted in systemic racial discrimination. Rosa's act of defiance highlighted the moral failure of such laws and brought attention to the broader struggle for civil rights. Sometimes, breaking unjust laws is necessary to bring about positive social change. For question number 4, does racial discrimination still occur around the globe? List down your evidence. Here is my example answer. Yes, racial discrimination still occurs around the globe. Although significant progress has been made in addressing it, many individuals and groups continue to face prejudice, systematic inequality, and discriminatory practices. Here is evidence of its continued existence, like employment discrimination, police brutality and racial profiling, educational inequalities, housing discrimination, hate crimes and violence, etc. For question number 5, how will you help indigenous peoples or IPs like Badjaus from people who treat them unjustly? Here is my example answer. Helping indigenous peoples or IPs such as the Badjaus involves addressing systemic issues, advocating for their rights, and promoting equality and respect. By empowering and supporting indigenous peoples like the Badjaus, we can help ensure they live with dignity and respect, free from unjust treatment. For Learning Task 3, choose a topic of Philippine TV advertisement from the box. Then, state your opinion about the TV ad using the graphic organizer below. List evidence to support your opinion. Do this in your notebook. So for example, I choose a toothpaste. The brand of a toothpaste is Colgate. The evidence for Colgate is it whitens my teeth and removes stain. Then put a TV advertisement. I'll just going to write an opinion. My opinion is the results of teeth whitening can vary depending on the individual. For people who consume a lot of stain-causing food or beverages like coffee or wine, these products can make a noticeable difference in the appearance of teeth, especially over time. The evidence supporting the effectiveness of Colgate whitening toothpaste comes from several factors like clinical studies. For learning task 4, complete the what, why, how chart on the next page by choosing one topic from the box. Then write 2 reasons about it. Review your reasons and have a list of evidence to support each. Use appropriate sentence patterns in providing evidence. Do this in your notebook. For example, I choose the best place to visit. For me, the best place to visit is El Nido, Palawan. The question is, what do you think? This is your opinion. My opinion is, El Nido, Palawan is often considered one of the best travel destinations in the world by many people. It is known for its breathtaking landscapes, including towering limestone cliffs, crystal clear lagoons, and white sand beaches, making it a paradise for nature lovers and adventure seekers. For the question why do you think? These are your reasons. My reasons are, El Nido, Palawan is often considered the best place to visit for its stunning natural beauty, island hopping adventures, rich marine biodiversity, peaceful and serene atmosphere. For the question how do you know? This is your evidence. My evidence is El Nido is known for its dramatic limestone cliffs, crystal clear turquoise lagoons, and white sand beaches. And another evidence is, one of El Nido's most famous attractions is its island hopping tours, which allow visitors to explore hidden lagoons, remote beaches, and vibrant coral reefs. For learning task 5, complete the statement below by supplying the missing terms. Select from the given choices below. Write your answers in your notebook. The choices are meaningful, evidence, tactful, opinion, irresponsible. Let's answer. An opinion is a view or judgment formed about something and is not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. However, no one can possibly give a point of view if he or she could not provide pieces of evidence that comes in different forms to support the opinion expressed. As the saying goes, everyone is entitled to his or her own opinion. However, expressing a personal belief without supporting details, bases, or bits of evidence is considered irresponsible. Hence, one should be tactful when giving an opinion. Every person must understand what has transpired so that the opinion expressed, either written, drawn, or spoken, becomes worthy and meaningful, as well as convincing to the target audience. For learning task 6, read each statement carefully. Write the letters of your answers in your answer sheet. Number 1. Which of the following statement is incorrect? A. An opinion is what a person thinks or believes. B. An opinion is necessarily based on facts or knowledge. C. An opinion relates to how someone feels about something. And D. An opinion seems true, valid, or probable to one's own mind. What is the correct answer? Very good. The correct answer is letter B. This statement is incorrect. An opinion is necessarily based on facts or knowledge. Number 2. Which of the following statements is not true about evidence? A. It supports a point of view. B. It can be found in secondary sources. C. It tends to prove or disprove something. Or D. It speaks for itself once introduced or presented. What is the correct answer? Very good. The correct answer is letter D. It speaks for itself once introduced or presented. Number 3. Which of the following is not a source of evidence? A. Surveys. B. Personal experience. C. Graphs or charts. D. Speeches from irrelevant people. What is the correct answer? Very good. The correct answer is letter D. Speeches from irrelevant people. Number 4. Which of the following opinions is supported with evidence? A. Dogs are better than cats. B. Niyog-Yugan Festival is deemed as the festival of all festivals. C. The survey shows that parents prefer modules over online learning. And D. Lucena North 1 Elementary School canteen serves the best merienda. What is the correct answer? Very good. The correct answer is letter C. The survey shows that parents prefer modules over online learning. Number 5. Which of the following is not true in providing evidence to support opinions? A. It is a way to persuade the audience. B. It reflects authenticity and relevance. C. It helps the audience to think uncritically. And D. It helps the audience connect their previous knowledge to current situation. What is the correct answer? Very good. The correct answer is letter C. It helps the audience to think uncritically. Remember, an opinion refers to a personal belief. It is a statement of what a person or an author thinks or believes. It also relates to how someone feels about something. What is evidence? Evidence is anything that tends to prove or disprove something. It is mostly thought of as proof to come to a belief, conclusion, or judgment about a topic. This may include examples, images, personal experiences, diagrams, charts and graphs, surveys, experiments, and other secondary sources of information. So kids, do you understand our lesson for today? Wow! Good job! Kids, I hope you learned a lot from this lesson. Until our next topic, bye-bye kids! Thanks for watching!